Hey guys, this is Rob with All Things IT and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing the Suricata IDS for our home lab. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. First things first, when installing anything like Suricata or how we did with Waza, always go ahead and take a look at the documentation. Because with that documentation, if you get confused on anything, you have a reference to go back to. As you can see, we're already SSH'd into our services server. And when you're about to install some new software, always do your sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. I've already done that. That way we can go ahead and just get started. This first command here, and I'll leave the command down in the description. It's just a few extra packages that we need to install. That way Suricata is running properly. These next two commands are the same thing. We're just installing some additional software, and we're also installing the Suricata repository as well. And then when we get to this part right here, we're just going to press enter and keep letting everything do its thing. Next, we're going to be installing the Suricata program itself. We're going to let that run through, and we'll pick it up after everything's done installing. Now, when you check the status of your Suricata, sometimes it may say that's failed. That's fine. We're going to have to go ahead and stop the services anyways. So if you haven't, go ahead and already do that because we're going to have to be doing a lot of reconfiguration to make sure Suricata is running for our network. First, let's go ahead and modify the .yaml file of Suricata to have Suricata start monitoring our network. So we're going to execute the following command here on screen. You can use whatever text editor you want. For me, I just prefer Nano. So now we're here in the .yaml file. Let's go ahead and start editing a few things. Where it says home net, you're going to put your network address. Yours may be different, but if you've been following along with us since the very first video, it's that 172.16.0.0/24 network. And right here, we don't have to modify anything. I just want to point these two log files out to you guys. We have fast.log and eve.json. And the only really big difference is they're both going to give you log events. It's just with that eve.json, it's going to give you a little more detail. Next, we need to go ahead and set our correct interface. Your network interface may be different from mine, but to find your network address, you're just going to type in IP space A in the terminal, and that's going to pull up your network address. On the first one, we see that we have that loopback address, and then the second one, that's going to be our interface. Now that we went ahead and made some changes, we're just going to go ahead and save everything. And with the following command right here, this is going to allow us to see some more additional rules that we can add on to our Suricata. One thing to note, if you see a rule pack that says commercial, that's not free. You're actually got to pay for that. If you see one that says MIT, for example, those are going to be free of charge and you can add those to your Suricata rule set. And to make sure everything's running properly, we're going to test it by adding the rule set tgreen/hunting. If you want to add your own rule set, you just replace the tgreen hunting with a rule set that you want to use. And we see here it's enabling that rule set. Then next we're going to go ahead and update Suricata, and Suricata is also going to go ahead and run a self-test to make sure everything's running properly on its end. And we see everything is running smoothly, so that's great on our end. Next, we're going to take a look at the actual rules that Suricata references when scanning network traffic. But first, we're going to go ahead and type in sudo su to go ahead and switch to our root user, because this part right here, it requires that we have root access. And now that we've logged into root, we're just going to go ahead and double check. We're just going to type in who am I, and we see that we're root. Now we're going to go ahead and navigate to where our rules are. And when we do ls, we see the rules folder. So we're just going to go ahead and cd into rules. And when we do ls, we see suricata.rules. And when we cat it out, this is a list of all the rules that Suricata references when scanning network traffic. So next we're going to go ahead and use the following command to have Suricata do a self-test using the rules setup that we have. And I'm going to break down this command for you, that way you understand it a bit more. The -T is telling Suricata to run in test mode. The -C is telling Suricata when you run that test, make sure you're using that configuration file. And finally, the lowercase v is for verbose mode. And when we run our test, we should see that we have no errors, so that's always a good sign. Next, we're going to go ahead and start Suricata back up, and we're going to check the status to make sure everything's running properly, which it is. Now we're going to go ahead and switch back to root and go ahead and start generating some logs to make sure everything's running correctly. Now that we're in root, we're going to run cat fast.log, and this is where we're going to see all those logs. Whenever, for example, someone runs a ping, we're going to be able to see that that ping was logged into the alerts. As of right now, we don't have anything because we haven't generated any alerts, but we're going to go ahead and do that now. So we're going to generate a test alert with testmynids.org. Don't worry, it's not a malicious site. All we're doing is we're just sending some data to our network to see if Suricata is going to be able to pick up on that test alert or not. So now that we've done that, we're going to do cat fast.log to see if we generated that alert or not. Lucky for us, we got an alert, so that means everything's running properly. I know we're dealing with Suricata right now, but I just want to touch on one pretty cool thing that I found in our Waza siem. So let's just switch to our Linux client, and we're just going to type in sudo su. And we can see that we're logged in via root. On our Waza dashboard, we're going to go ahead and click threat hunting. Then we're going to go ahead and click events. And when we scroll down, we see the sudo su alert that was generated. I've been messing around with Waza trying to get some ideas for some future videos, and I just thought that was kind of cool and just wanted to show you guys. Okay guys, congratulations, you've set up your Suricata IDS. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you on the next one.